Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or just plain tired of being your own worst critic, then this video is exactly what you need today. We're diving into the power of positive self-talk for success, a concept that can transform not just how you think, but how you live. Stick around because this could be the mental switch that changes your life. Let's get into it. Let me start with a confession. There was a time in my life when I was trapped in a loop of self-doubt. I'd wake up, already mentally exhausted, dreading everything ahead of me. Even before stepping out of bed, I'd hear that voice, "You're not good enough. Why even try? You'll just fail. Other people are better, smarter, more talented." Sound familiar? This voice wasn't coming from outside. It was me. My inner critic had become my most constant companion. At the time, I was trying to build a business. I had big dreams, but every setback, every slow day, every mistake, it wasn't just a normal challenge. It became fuel for my inner critic to beat me down. Eventually, I hit a breaking point. I wasn't just failing in business, I was failing myself. I had to make a choice, keep letting that voice dominate my life or fight back. That fight, that transformation, started with a single realization. My self-talk was my operating system, and it was full of bugs. And so, I began rewriting the code. Let's talk about that inner voice we all have, the one that narrates our life. Some call it the inner critic, others just call it reality. But let me tell you this, your inner dialogue is not just commentary, it's the script. Your brain follows. When your self-talk is negative, always doubting, always fearing, always judging, it doesn't just affect how you feel. It literally affects your behavior, your decisions, your confidence, your ability to take risks, and ultimately, your success. Research in neuroscience and psychology backs this up. Negative self-talk activates stress responses, weakens problem-solving skills, and shrinks your ability to think creatively. Over time, it reinforces limiting beliefs that hold you back from opportunities and growth. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You believe you're not good enough, so you don't try. You don't try, so you don't succeed. You don't succeed, so you prove to yourself you're not good enough, and the cycle goes on. But here's the good news, and it's really good. Just as your brain can wire itself to sabotage you, it can also rewire itself to empower you. That's the power of positive self-talk. Let's get something straight. Positive self-talk isn't about pretending everything is sunshine and rainbows. It's about consciously choosing to speak to yourself the way you'd speak to a friend you believe in. It's about saying, "I made a mistake, but I'm learning. I've handled tough stuff before. I can handle this. I might not be there yet, but I'm making progress." This kind of self-talk activates a completely different part of your brain. It improves performance, lowers stress, increases resilience, and opens the door to creativity and confidence. In fact, athletes, performers, entrepreneurs, and high achievers in all fields use this strategy to stay mentally strong under pressure. Because they know your mind will believe what you tell it over and over again. Let's break this down. How do you actually begin to change your self-talk? Here are 5 powerful tips to shift your inner dialogue. Starting today. Name your inner critic. Give your inner critic a name. Mine used to be called Judgy Jeff. Why? Because once you separate the critic from your true self, you realize you are not your thoughts. When Judgy Jeff shows up, I can say, there you are again, and choose not to listen. Use you instead of I. Instead of saying, "I can do this," say, "You can do this." Research shows that talking to yourself in the second person makes your brain react more like you're coaching someone else. And it works. You become your own cheerleader. Challenge negative thoughts. Don't just accept every negative thought as truth. Question it. Ask, is this really true? Would I say this to someone I love? What's the evidence against it? Often you'll realize that negative thought is just fear dressed as fact. Practice mirror talk. It might feel awkward at first, but this works. Look in the mirror and say something kind, encouraging, or powerful to yourself. Daily, it builds self-trust and self-respect, brick by brick. Keep a positive self-talk journal. Every evening, write down 3 things you did well or 3 encouraging thoughts you had during the day. It trains your mind to look for wins, not just flaws. Real-world applications, you might be wondering. Does this really work? Let's take a look at some real-world examples. In business, Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx, often credits her mindset and inner dialogue as one of her biggest assets. She says that from a young age, her father taught her to reframe failure as a learning opportunity. That mental shift helped her push through countless rejections and eventually become a self-made billionaire. In sports, Michael Jordan is famously quoted as saying, "I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." He didn't let his failures define his future. He turned them into fuel with the help of powerful self-talk. In everyday life, I've seen it in my own life. When I started consciously changing how I spoke to myself, my confidence grew. My business started to thrive. I showed up differently in relationships. I took risks I would have never taken before. And here I am, talking to you because I started believing I had something worth saying. You don't need to be rich, famous, or special to make this shift. You just need to start paying attention and be willing to rewrite the script. Let's bring it all together. Your self-talk isn't background noise. It's the story you tell yourself every single day. If your inner critic is running the show, you're not living at your full potential. Positive self-talk isn't fluffy. It's powerful, proven, and life-changing. You can train your brain with practice to become your biggest supporter instead of your harshest critic. And when you do, everything starts to shift. Your actions, your resilience, your success, and the journey to success starts with a conversation. And it starts with you. So if you're ready to change your life, start by changing your words. If this video sparked something in you, if you're ready to silence the inner critic and turn up the volume on your inner coach, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. And hey, drop a comment below. What's one positive thing you're going to say to yourself today? Remember, you've got this. You're not alone, and your best self is just one powerful thought away. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.